This is Lucille Maris.
And tell me, Mom, so we're talking about December 7th, 1941. So where were you when you remember hearing about the bombing of Pearl Harbor?
Well, Jim and I were visiting with our friends Elaine and Jesse Wiley in their home. I can't remember the name of the street now, but I can picture it yet, but I can't remember the name of the street.
Oh, that's okay.
But we were standing by the radio, and they had a radio that was about 4 feet tall, and that was, I don't know if at that time that was a pretty special radio to have it that large, and it came on the air that Pearl Harbor had been bombed by the Japanese, and then the President Roosevelt, came on and said something to the fact that we had been bombed, and something, I can't repeat his word, but it would go down in infamy, some very special. But we would be down now, but we would be in war, the war.
So it was the event that caused the U.S. to enter World War II,
And
right?
that was the cause of us to enter World War II, yes.
So did Dad know at that time, like in that moment, did he know I'm going to go be in the war, or like what was in the atmosphere at that time? Did you have a feeling about what it all meant?
I personally did not, but apparently he did, and apparently the young men across the nation realized that they would be going to the service in some kind to fight a war, and they chose to go to the type of service they wanted to go to rather than to be drafted into the Army and maybe not get the type of service they wanted. And Jim, your dad, to be a pilot, so he chose to go to the Air Corps, which later became the Army Air Force. So that was his choice, and I don't know, probably the next day he went to Chanute to be enlisted. So Chanute Airfield was at Rantoul, just close, a few miles from us.
So Rantoul, Illinois, is
Right,
what you're talking
right,
about, right?
right.
Okay. So it wasn't too long after that, then you guys ended up being separated by the war.
Absolutely, yeah.
Okay.
He was, I think, if I remember, what month was this? This was December. It was like October, though, before he was actually called to go should be trained, start to be trained. So it was a few months.
So you guys then got married in January of 43, so
Right.
not too long. Your anniversary is coming up.
Well, that of course, Pearl Harbor happened in 41.
So you were a couple years later.
Right.
So
right.
I skipped a year.
Yeah, you did.
I need to work on my math.
Right.
Well, I'm also audio recording this, so I'm going to put a little bit of this on the next episode of my podcast. I'm so intrigued how it's almost like we the country have come back around to using more voice as a platform, like what you were experiencing, voice via the radio.
Right.
When you got that news, and now everybody's using their voice to ask their phones and their smart speakers in their house and their
Right.
TV remotes and things. So very interesting. Well, thank you for visiting with me. I'm going to sign off here on the Facebook Live.
Okay.